I'm here to try to help you save money. One of the ways I do that is showing you how to do DIY projects yourself so that you could save big bucks. This is a 2009 Toyota Camry that needs the alternator replaced. Let me show you how easy it is and how you could do it yourself to save big bucks. So let's get started, guys. We're going to go ahead and remove the negative cable. First, you're going to loosen that 10mm bolt. I'm not going to show that here. And I went ahead and removed the negative cable first and put that aside. Now I'm removing the positive cable, and that's done easily here on this Camry by removing that wing nut. Now we go ahead and move those cables out of the way so that they don't accidentally make contact with the battery when we're doing our other repairs. These happen to have some dielectric grease on them. So we're going to go ahead and wipe that off and, again, put those cables in a safe place. Before we proceed further, we need to do a site survey on the alternator to see how it's connected and to inspect the serpentine belt. We also want to see the bolts that hold everything together. Upon inspection, we could see that the serpentine belt is worn and needs replacement. I'm showing here on my finger that you could see the worn cracks and hairs coming off the belt. To make the job of replacing the serpentine belt easy, we need to remove the tire and the plastic cover that protects the serpentine belt. You'll see it here. There are 3 bolts that hold that cover together. Now, I didn't show where I lifted up the car and loosened the bolts for the tire, but you get the gist of it. Here, these bolts are not very tight. You don't need a power tool. You can easily do it with a ratchet, but I'm using my Milwaukee impact wrench that's 90-degree angle to make the job easier. Let's now go underneath the car and get that 3rd bolt that's right there so that we can take off this plastic cover finally. Now with the cover off, we can go ahead and see the routing of the belt. This is a very important step. What I always do is that I make a drawing of the way the belt is routed. Let's take a quick look throughout the engine and see how that belt is routed. The belt, starting from the crankshaft pulley, goes to the AC compressor, then up to the water pump and around the alternator, then back to the power steering pulley, down to the tensioner pulley, to the crankshaft where we started. Again, I always suggest making a drawing, or you can look it up on the internet to have it handy as you begin to install the new belt. And here's a drawing I found on the internet, just in case you want to make fun of my drawing skills on that belt. To remove the belt, you'll need something like the Serpentine Belt Toolkit from PITTSBURGH Automotive. I bought this at Harbor Freight, and you'll need the right size socket to fit your tensioner pulley. You can also use a long ratchet with the right socket, but it's really tight in there. So having something flat like this makes the job way easier. Now we're going to remove the belt. We're going to use this flat tool, placing that socket portion on the tensioner pulley and pushing down or towards you. That will relieve the stress or tension on the belt. Then you'll be able to pull the belt right off one of the pulleys. The pulley that's easiest to use to take off this belt is the water pump pulley. It's got no grooves, so you can easily slide the belt off once the tension has been relieved. All right, guys, next thing we want to take off is some of these electrodes, these connections here. I want to get some of these out of here. There you go, that one right there. Looks like we've got one right here too. Just like that. This connection here, here's the other connection right here. It was right here just like that. Taking it off. Then these were together right here like this. Take them off by pushing here, squeezing, and pulling apart. Okay, now we have this ground right here. We're going to take him off. Let's go ahead and take that boot off. The 10mm right here. We don't want to lose that or drop it. And we've gone ahead and gotten him out of the way. This next step is optional, but it makes your life easier. Make sure to get that wire off of that bracket by undoing this little plastic fitting, and it'll make things a lot easier when trying to remove the bracket. This bracket here holds this in place.
It's also a 10 mil. You also want to be careful not to lose him. There you go. Now we've gotten all that out the way. All right, this one here, guys, is 8 millimeter. There you go. All right, guys, here's the new alternator, so you guys could see it. As you can see, it has that portion right there to screw in that bracket. It does not come with the bracket, so it's good that we took it out, and it gives us a good look right now to make sure that everything's gonna fit right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this bolt right here, the bolt that goes there, and the bolt that goes here. Very hard for the camera to catch, and that is gonna be right there, right in there. That's the bigger bolt, and then the one underneath. Look at that, nice and easy now. And there you go, bolts out. All right, guys, the one on the bottom is going to be a 12 millimeter.
This is a tough location for the camera. I'll do my best here, guys.
Okay. There you go. There's the culprit. You got to be careful with all this electronic cables here as you hook this out. And out she comes, guys.
Now it's time to install the new alternator. Make sure to compare your new alternator with your old one before you start this process to ensure that you've got the right one. All the holes should match. Start your top bolt by hand to ensure that you do not strip out the aluminum casing on the alternator. Now the bottom bolt is the same thing. You want to start it by hand. A high tooth count ratchet will help greatly here, as you don't need a large swing to make dramatic turns on the bolt. So I'm using this GEARWRENCH 90 tooth ratchet, and it is great. Go ahead and tighten your bolts down to your OEM specifications. Look those up if you don't know them. I'm going to go ahead and hand tighten them here. I know the strength level by hand, but if you don't agree, I'm happy to read your comment in the comments section. Now we're going to go ahead and install this bracket here, which holds the electrical cables coming from the top of the engine down into the alternator. Get that nice and hand tight. Use the top head of the ratchet so you don't over tighten. That tightening method also goes for this cable right here, which has a 10 millimeter nut on top of it. You're going to go ahead and do that with the top, only the top portion of your ratchet so you don't over tighten. Next, we'll connect this large connector right there. And now we're going to install what is the toughest part of this whole install. It's that bracket that holds the cables coming from the bottom of the engine into what can connect from the top of the engine. I'm using a wrench here because it's the easiest thing to do it with. Now we go ahead and reconnect the cables as they were and plug back in or push back in these plastic connector holders, and we're done. Next, we're going to go ahead and compare our belts. This again here, it behooves you to compare your belt or your old part with your new part. The difference here should be small. The new belt should just be a little shorter than the old belt. So that is very normal as the older belt gets stretched out through usage. Now we're going to go ahead and start routing the belt through the different pulleys as I described earlier in the video. You're going to route the belt in what I lovingly call an hourglass shape. You're going to go around the crank pulley, which is that big pulley that you see first, and it's going to go up around the belt tensioner, around the power steering pulley, and that's that big black pulley up on the top, then over to the alternator, but don't wrap it around the alternator because you'll never make it, so you leave it kind of hanging, around the water pulley, that you don't put the groove side on that. You go the no groove side. And then around the AC pulley. Now with the belt routed how you need it to install it in an hourglass shape, you can go ahead and start from the top, pulling on it, providing tension on the belt so that it will line up with all the pulleys, all the groove sides of the pulleys and all the non-groove sides of the pulleys. Now we get ourselves in position so that we can go ahead and relieve the tension off the tensioner pulley and wrap this belt around the alternator and then the water pulley. The best advice I could give during this process is to have patience and have the right tools. This flat bar with socket has been a lifesaver on every alternator or belt changing job I've done. With the tensioner pulley releasing the tension, as we use the flat bar, we go ahead and wrap the belt around the alternator and use the non-groove side to go around the water pulley. This is the easiest way I found to do it because I'm working from the top and it provides less stress on my back. Now I go ahead and release the tension off the tensioner pulley and double, triple check the tension on the belt and ensure that I've removed every tool from within the engine. You don't want to start it and leave a socket in there. You could break something.
Now that we've got the belt on, it's time to put the battery back in series, just like we took it off.
Make sure your bolts are tight and your connections are sturdy, but don't over tighten them. You could cause damage, so be careful here.
Let's go ahead and put this shield back on.
Guys, we are at the end of it. These next parts are self-explanatory. We're going to go ahead and hang the shield and start by hand tightening those bolts right to the frame there. And yes, I'm using my 90-degree Milwaukee impact wrench, and it's way too strong for this job, so you can use a ratchet. I was holding back the power in order not to strip those bolts into the frame. Now we hang the tire and start the nuts by hand tightening them onto that wheel hub. And that's pretty much it, guys. Now we're going to get to start the engine and see if our work pays off. And thank goodness everything is working perfectly.
All right, guys, this is the end of the video. I hope this helps somebody out there. If you gained value from this video, please give me a like, subscribe, drop me some comments. I'd appreciate it. Not everything here is at pro level. This is a DIY job to show other DIYers that it can be done. And if not, at least they know how the job is done and they understand why a shop is charging what they're charging, whether it be fair or not. You'll be the judge at that point because you'll know how the job is done. This is Ed, the old tech guy, telling you I love you, and I'm signing off.